YouTube live, and then we will start, sir. Sir, it's done, sir. Okay. Hello. Sir, please start the session, sir.
Okay. Okay. Oh, shall I share the screen, sir? Done? Okay. Yes, sir.
Sir, done, sir. Okay.
I'm audible. Okay, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, yes, sir.
आलेलं नाही अजून. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, today we will study. Is visible, sir? PPT. Today we will study second point. Toru Dutt. She is the Bengali poet. ही जी कविता आहे सोवर, ही कविता जे शेतकरी आहे, शेतकऱ्याविषयी की तुम्हाला माहित असेलच, शेतीमध्ये शेतकरी हे जे विविध कामं करावे लागतात किंवा शेतीच्या ज्या निगडीत आहे किंवा शेतीशी जे संबंधित आहे ते वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे कामं असतात. त्यामध्ये मग नांगरणी असेल, पेरणी असेल, गवत काढणे असेल, त्याला निंदणी म्हणतो आपण, हार्वेस्टिंग असेल, आणि मग नंतर ग्रेन आपल्याला मिळू शकतं. आता sower, sower is the noun derived from the verb called sow, S-O-W. So sower. So there are many words, or there are many nouns which are derived from the verb, just like a sower. So there are many. For example, farm, farmer, garden, gardener. Then a person who studies the law, who has the knowledge of law, is called lawyer. A person who comes from foreign is called foreigner. A person who acts is actor. A person who decorates things, he is called a decorator. Then a person who gives a direct, that is direction, or who direct the things is called director. So there are many words, there are many verbs, or there are many nouns which are derived from the verbs. की अशा प्रकारे आपण बघतो की इंग्रजीमध्ये असे कित्येक क्रियापद आहेत किंवा कित्येक नाम आहे की जे नाम क्रियापदाच्या ER नुसार डिराईव्ह होतात किंवा तयार होतात. मग आता आपण मगाशी बघितलं फार्मर, गार्डनर, लॉयर, फॉरेनर, ऍक्टर, डेकोरेटर, डायरेक्टर, हे नाऊन आहे. हे नाऊन जे जो वर्ब आहे त्या वर्ब पासून तयार झालेले. आणि तसंच हे सोवर, a person who sow the field, a person who sow the farm is called sower. So this poem, it is originally written by France's greatest poet and novelist called Victor Hugo. He is also called as the dramatist of the 19th century. की जे विक्टर ह्युगो आहे, फ्रेंच पोएट, त्यांनी ही कविता लिहिलेली. आणि मग ते फक्त कवीच नाही तर एक नॉवेलिस्ट म्हणजेच कादंबरीकार देखील आहे. त्याच पद्धतीनं त्याच प्रकारे ते एक नाटककार देखील आहे. आणि 19व्या शतकातील ते एक म्हणजे ग्रेटेस्ट पोएट आणि नॉवेलिस्ट म्हणून ओळखले जातात. देर आर मेनी थिंग्स टू हिज रेकॉर्ड. अमंग देम ही इज वेल नोन फॉर हिज नॉवेल्स called Notre Dame de Paris, which was published in 1831. And afterwards, the second, Les Miserables. This collection was published in 1862. की जे विक्टर ह्युगो आहे, विक्टर ह्युगोचे जे त्यांनी 1831 मध्ये जी नॉव्हेल लिहिली की ती एक प्रसिद्ध वेल नोन, इट इज अ फेमस, आणि तिचं नाव आहे नॉर्टे डेम डी पॅरिस, की जी 1831 मध्ये प्रसिद्ध झाली. त्याच प्रकारे दुसरी जे लेस मिझरेबल्स हे जे कार्य आहे हे त्यांचं 1862 मध्ये प्रसिद्ध झालं. आता दिस पोएम, जस्ट एज आय सेड, दिस पोएम इज इन फ्रेंच लँग्वेज, but afterwards this poem it is translated into English by the Indian poetess called तोरू दत्त. की तुम्हाला मगाशी सांगितलं ही जी कविता आहे सोवर, ही सोवर कविता फ्रेंच लँग्वेज मध्ये, परंतु तिचं जे ट्रान्सलेशन आहे, ट्रान्सलेशन जे की इंडियन पोएट आहे, भारतीय कवयित्री तोरू दत्त यांनी या कवितेचं इंग्लिश मध्ये ट्रान्सलेशन केलेलं आहे. Who is now we will see about Toru Dutt. Who is she? So Toru Dutt, she is a Bengali poet. She had written in English and in French also. Toru Dutt ह्या बंगाली कवयित्री की ज्यांनी इंग्लिश मध्ये आणि फ्रेंच या दोन्ही भाषांमध्ये आपलं लिखाण काम केलेलं आहे. She born on 4th March 1856 in Kolkata. Yes, Toru Dutt born on 4th March 1856 in Kolkata. की तोरू दत्त ह्या 4 मार्च 1856 मध्ये कोलकाता म्हणजे बंगाल म्हणतो आपण, वेस्ट बेंगाल, तिथे त्यांचा जन्म झालेला. She is considered as the first Indian poetess, translated many poems and completed a novel before her death at the age of 21. Yes, so she is the first Indian poet who has translated this poem into English. की तोरू दत्त ह्या ज्या कवयित्री की त्यांना असं म्हटलं जातं की त्या भारतातल्या पहिल्या कवयित्री की ज्यांनी फ्रेंच लँग्वेज मधनं इंग्रजी भाषेमध्ये ट्रान्सलेशन केलेलं आहे. And she has completed a novel before her death at the age of 21. It means she died at the age of 21. वयाच्या 21व्या वर्षी त्यांनी एक कादंबरी देखील लिहिलेली. हर वेल लव्ड पोएम्स आर सीता, लोटस, our casuarina tree. So these are 3 poems on her record. त्यांच्या ज्या प्रसिद्ध आहे त्याच्या 3 कविता आहे, त्यामध्ये एक सीता, लोटस, अवर कॅशुरेना ट्री ह्या ज्या 3 कविता असेल किंवा काव्यसंग्रह असेल ह्या त्यांच्या प्रसिद्ध आहे. ट्रान्सलेटेड विक्टर ह्युगोज फ्रेंच पोएम सेशन डीज सॅमिलीज ली सॉइर into English as the sower. So now this poem, it is a translated poem, and this poem is translated from Victor Hugo's French poem or poetry collection called Saison des Similes. की विक्टर ह्युगोचा जो काव्य संग्रह आहे सैसन दीज सेमिलीज की ज्याला ली सॉइर हा काव्य संग्रह म्हणून ओळखला जातो. या काव्य संग्रहातून ही पोएम घेतलेली आहे आणि पुढे काय आफ्टरवर्ड तौरुदत्त सी हॅज ट्रान्सलेटेड दिस पोएम इनटू इंग्लिश ॲज नेम द सोवर. हीच कविता पुढे तौरदत्त यांनी आपल्या इंग्रजी भाषेत ट्रान्सलेशन केलं आणि त्या कवितेचं नाव आहे द सोवर. नाउ वी विल सी अबाउट द पोएम. व्हॉट इज द सेंट्रल आयडिया ऑफ पोएम, व्हॉट इज द सेंट्रल थीम ऑफ द पोएम, व्हॉट इज द पोएम कन्सर्न विथ, की ही कवितेमध्ये नक्की काय, कविता कशाविषयी, कवितेची कल्पना काय हे आपण बघूया. अबाउट द पोएम. द सोवर इज द ट्रान्सलेटिंग ऑफ विक्टर ह्युगोज पोएम सेशन दीज Similes ली सॉइर. As I said, this poem is a translated poem from French language by the greatest poet Victor Hugo from the collection called Saison des Similes, or it is also called Le Soir. ही जी कविता आहे की विक्टर ह्युगो जे फ्रेंच कवी आहे की त्यांचं जे कविता संग्रह आहे सैसन दिस सेमिलीज ली सॉइर या कविता संग्रहातून ही कविता घेतलेली. It is translated by Toru Dutt from French to English. This poem is translated from French language to English language. ही कविता फ्रेंच लँग्वेज मधून इंग्रजी लँग्वेज मध्ये ट्रान्सलेशन केले गेलेले. The sower is a poem about a farmer who is sowing seeds. All of you know, as we have a profession, that is in our country we find 60 to 70% of the population they are farming work from our occupation called farming, and so this poem is also a concern related with the farmer. की आपल्याला माहिती आहे की भारतातील जी लोकसंख्या त्या लोकसंख्येपैकी कमीत कमी 60 ते 70% लोकसंख्या या कशावरती आधारित आहे की शेती व्यवसायावरती. आणि ही जी कविता आहे ही कविता शेतकऱ्याविषयी. अ पर्सन हू सोविंग सीड्स, अ पर्सन दॅट इज सोवर, सोवर मीन्स सोवर, अ पर्सन हू सो द सीड्स इन द फार्म इज कॉल्ड सोवर. आणि मग या कवितेमध्ये पण जो शेतकरी जे दाणे असतात आपलं जे धान्य असतं तो धान्याची जी पेरणी करतो त्याविषयी ही कविता आहे. ही हॅज सीन मेनी बॅड हार्वेस्ट इन हिज लाईफ. यु नो द farmer this is also very risky occupation we can say. As you know, the climate, there are very there was some technical problem. So this poem, it is about a farmer who works in the farm, who seeds the grain. He has seen many bad harvests. Bad harvest in the sense that, you know, the climate, it is changing, it changes, and that changing of the climate, it affects on the farmer's life. की जो क्लायमेट आहे, आपण म्हणतो वातावरण, वातावरणातले जे बदल आहे, ते बदलामुळे शेतकरी किंवा शेती व्यवसाय हा धोक्यात आलेला आहे. अँड सो it is said that the poet says he has seen many bad harvest. Just take the example of nowadays. Yes, due to the hailstock, now there is a hailstock. Due to the hailstock means garpit, thunderstorm, we can say it. So because of the hailstock, the crops, they are in danger. The crops are in danger. की शेतकऱ्याची जे पिकं आहेत, की जी गारपीट आहे, गारपीटमुळे जी पिकं पिकवली जातात, ते देखील मोठ्या प्रमाणात धोक्यात आलेली. समटाइम्स द फार्मर ही फेसेस due to the excess rain, there is flood, so the crop damages. Sometimes he also suffers from दुष्काळ देखील ओढावला जाऊ शकतो. because lack of the there is a quantity of rain, lack of the quantity of the rain, then excess quantity of the rain, hailstorm. So these are the various reasons that affects on his profession. की शेतकऱ्यामध्ये हा विविध प्रसंगांना, विविध अडचणींना त्याला तोंड द्यावं लागतं. त्यामध्ये मग दुष्काळ असेल किंवा अतिवृष्टी झाली तर पूर किंवा अतिवृष्टीमुळे पिकांची नासधूस होते, किंवा एखाद्या वेळेस गारपीटची शक्यता. आता आपण बघितलं की गारपीट पडली, त्यामुळे शेतकऱ्याच्या पिकांचं अतोनात नुकसान होतं. आणि दॅट्स वाय द पोएट सेज दॅट ही हॅज सीन मेनी बॅड हार्वेस्ट. However, he is so optimistic of having a good harvest every time he tosses grain. Yes. Although the farmer he faces various problems, he is a dilemma. Yet he doesn't give up his work. He is always optimistic that this year, next time, or next year, there will be a good harvest for him, good season for him, good climate for him. की शेतकरी हा निराश होत नाही. किती कठीण प्रसंगाने, किती प्रॉब्लेम आले, त्यामध्ये गारपीट येव, दुष्काळ येव किंवा पूर येव, अतिवृष्टी हो, तरी देखील हा शेतकरी आपला खंबीर असतो. तो कधीही खचून जात नाही आणि तो सदैव आशावादी असतो की जेणेकरून आज ना उद्या किंवा ह्या वर्षी किंवा पुढचा हंगाम किंवा त्याचा पुढचा हंगाम देखील त्याला चांगला येईल असे आशेने तो नेहमी काम करत असतो. So he is so optimistic of having a good harvest every time he tosses the grain. Now we will see the actual poem, The Sower. Sitting in a porchway cool, sunlight I see dying fast, twilight hastens on the rule. Working hours have well nigh passed. Shadows run across the lands, but a sower lingers still. Old in rags, he patient stands. Looking on, I feel a thrill. Black and high, his silhouette dominates the furrows deep. Now to sow, the task is set. Soon shall come a time to reap. Marches he along the plain to and fro, and scatters wide his hands the precious grain. As I see him stride, gestures to my eyes, his height seems to touch the starry skies. So like this poem, so we will study this poem by stanza by stanza. की आपण ही कविता हे प्रत्येक परिच्छेदानुसार अभ्यासूया. The sower sitting in porchway cool. You know porchway. See that there is a meaning. Porchway, a veranda or a cover shelter front of building. काय porchway? की एक वरांडा आहे. That is empty place or veranda that we find in front of the हाऊस किंवा और बिल्डिंग, की घराच्या समोरचा जो मोकळा भाग असतो, वरांडा असतो, गावाकडे बघितलं किंवा आपल्या बिल्डिंगच्या लँग्वेज मध्ये त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो, गॅलरी किंवा टेरेस. That is the porchway. Sitting in porchway, cool sunlight, I see dying fast. Twilight hastens on the rule. Hasten that is spread. Hasten that is spread म्हणजे पसरणे किंवा पसरवलेले असणे. Twilight that is, it is the evening time. Sitting in porchway, cool sunlight, I see dying fast. Twilight hastens on the rule. Working hours have well nigh passed. Well nigh, that is, it is about to come. It is about to night. It is about the evening time. So here poetess Toru Dutt. Here poetess, she sat in her veranda. She is sitting on the veranda and she looks after. She is thinking something. In a moment, she saw. What type of atmosphere do we have? It is the evening time. It is the evening time, and now the sun is about to set. Dying fast. That is, sun is about to set. There is a sunlight, a little sunlight, but the sun is about to die. And in the evening time, what type of atmosphere do we have? It is just about to be darkened. Twilight hastens on the rule. In sky we find the stars starts to twinkle. And in this way, the working hours in the field is about to complete or about to come and end. की कवयित्री आहे तोरू दत्त, आपल्या ज्या घरासमोर जो वरांडा आहे त्या वरांड्यामध्ये बसलेला असतात. सायंकाळची वेळ आणि सूर्य हा अस्ताला जात आहे किंवा सूर्यास्त होण्याची वेळ झालेली आहे आणि त्यामुळे थोडंसं अंधुक असं वातावरण तयार झालेलं आहे. डाईंग फास्ट. आणि मग आपण आकाशामध्ये बघतो संध्याकाळच्या वेळेस कसं तांदण्या वगैरे चमकायला लागतात. स्टार्स ट्विंकल्स इन द स्काय. द सेम वे ट्विलाइट हासन्स ऑन द रूल. आणि शेतीतील कामं करण्याची वेळ संपून गेलेली. द वर्किंग अवर्स हॅज ऑलरेडी पास्ड. You can see in the figure, there is a picture, you can see there is veranda, porchway, small area, entrance of the building. In second figure you can see a twilight, the soft glowing light from the sky. That is the evening time, the climate, the situation, the atmosphere that we get in the winter. सायंकाळच्या वातावरणामध्ये ते आपण दुसऱ्या फिगर मध्ये तुम्ही बघू. Shadows run across the lands, but a sower lingers still. Old in rags, he patient stands. Looking on, I feel a thrill. So the shadows, dark shadows. The shadows run across the land. Whose shadows? Maybe the shadows of a farmer that runs across the land. But sower lingers, hangs around or remains. म्हणजे एका ठिकाणी राहणे किंवा उभं राहणे किंवा घुटमाळणे म्हणतो ना आपण. That is called lingers. But shadows run across the land, but sower lingers still. Yes, although it is the evening time, very soon there will be night. But the farmer, we can see, he is still in his farm. He remains still in his farm. सायंकाळची वेळ झालेली आहे, थोड्याच वेळात रात्र होणार असते, तरी देखील हा शेतकरी आपल्या शेतीतच रेंगाळत असतो किंवा शेतीतच ये-जा करत असतो. Old in rags, he patient stands. Looking on, I feel a thrill. See, what is the personality of the farmer? Yes, farmer, he is old because of age. The clothes that he wear is rags, that is old clothes. Maybe the clothes, dirty clothes, because of soil working in the farm. He patient stands, looking on. I feel thrill. I feel thrill means the poetess. She feels thrill. Thrill in the sense that astonished. She got surprised. की सायंकाळची वेळ झालेली आहे, रात्र थोड्याच वेळात होणार असते, तरी देखील हा शेतकरी आपल्या शेतामध्ये रेंगाळत असतो. की शेतकऱ्याची प्रतिकृती कशी वर्णन केलेली आहे कवितेमध्ये, की तो वयस्कर शेतकरी, म्हातारा आहे, ओल्ड. त्याचे जे कपडे आहेत ते कपडे कसे आहे, फाटके कपडे, फाटलेले कपडे असेल किंवा मळलेले कपडे, रॅग्स, जुने कपडे. अँड ही पेशंटली स्टँड्स दॅट इज वेटिंग, ही इज थिंकिंग समथिंग, लुकिंग ऑन, की तो इकडे तिकडे बघतो, ही इज वॉचिंग, ही इज लुकिंग अराउंड हिज फार्म हिअर अँड देअर. आय फील अ थ्रिल. So looking at the farmer and his movements, looking at the farmer and his working style, it attracts the poet. It surprises the poetess. की कवयित्रीला हे जे शेतकऱ्याचं जे प्रतिकृती आहे किंवा त्याचं जे काम आहे किंवा त्याची जी हालचाल आहे, त्यामुळे कवयित्री कशी एकदम आश्चर्यचकित झालेली. Black and high, his silhouette, that is shape, outline of someone against a brighter background. सिल्युएट म्हणजे काय, एक प्रतिमा. आपण म्हणतो when there is about to darkness, it means we can say the shadow of the farmer. In a short, we can say shadow of the farmer, the image of the farmer that happens because of evening time, the shadow that we can see, the dark shadow, the dark image of the farmer. Black and high, his silhouette dominates the furrows deep. Furrows, line, trench, channel. When the farm is plowed, when farmer plows the farm, we find there are a certain lines. जेव्हा शेती नांगरलेली जात असते किंवा शेतीची मशागत केलेली असते, शेती नांगरलेली असते, ज्या नांगरलेल्या शेतीचे जे रेघा असतात, रेघोट्या म्हणतो आपण त्यांना, किंवा त्यांना काही ठिकाणी तास म्हणतात, काही ठिकाणी लाईन्स म्हणतात, त्या लाईन्स आहे, त्या लाईन्स म्हणजे फरोज. ब्लॅक अँड हाय, हिज सिल्हुएट डॉमिनेट्स द फरोज डीप. We can see the image of the farmer in the farm. That image, it is spread all over in the farm because of the dark. You can see the image of the farmer, and that image, it is spread through the furrows also. The image is spread in the furrows. की जो शेतकरी उभा आहे, त्या शेतकऱ्याची जी काळकी किंवा अंधुक अशी जी प्रतिमा आहे, ती प्रतिमा आपल्याला तिथे शेतीमध्ये दिसते. आणि ती जी प्रतिमा आहे, त्याची प्रतिमा शेतीत जे नांगरलेले तास, त्या तासांमध्ये किंवा त्या नांगरलेल्या ज्या रेषा आहेत, त्या रेषांमध्ये त्याची जी सावली, त्याची जी प्रतिकृती, ती सर्वीकडे पसरलेली. नाव farmer is thinking. The farmer is thinking in his farm. Okay, now the time will come to saw the field. पेरणी करूया. Soon shall. Now he is thinking that afterwards we will repeat. So there are various activities that took place in the farm. की शेतीमध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारच्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी घेतल्या जातात. We are not getting directly grains or food in our house. की आपल्याला डायरेक्ट धान्य आपल्या घरात येत नाही. The farmer, he has to suffer a lot for that. की शेतकऱ्याला त्याचा मोठ्या प्रमाणात मशागत करावी लागते, काम करावं लागतं, तेव्हा ते धान्य कुठे आपल्या येतात. There are various activities, there are various process that the farmer he has to do in his farm. Plowing, sowing, weeding out, reaping the crops, harvesting, and afterwards we are getting the grain. की शेतीमध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे काम केले जातात. शेतीची नांगरणी असेल, मशागत असेल, पेरणी करणे, त्याला पाणी देणे, गवत, त्या शेतातील जे गवत, ते गवत बाजूला काढणे, युजलेस आपण म्हणतो त्याला, निरुपयोगी जे गवत, ते गवत बाजूला काढणे, परत कापणे, त्याचं हार्वेस्टिंग, मळणी करणे, आणि मग आपल्याला धान्य मिळत असतात. सो देर आर द व्हेरियस ऍक्टिव्हिटीज दॅट फार्मर हॅज टू डू इन हिज फार्म. So today So these are the activities that we find in the farm. The next so you can see in the image silhouette. Silhouette means we can see the front. In first diagram, in first image, you can see the blood, dark image. And second, it is about the furrows. की जी शेती नांगरलेली असते त्या नांगरलेल्या शेती इवन सेकंड यू कॅन सी द ग्रीनरी द mark he went toes as I see him stride marches lane to and fro and scatters wild. So we have seen that the farmer is working, he's sowing in the farm. Scatters. So we are getting the picture of different activities, different types of moments of the farmer. When there are various ways of spreading the grain in the farm. One is with the hands, farmer can spray, the farmers can sow in the field. Second way, with the farming equipment, tools, the farmers he can use. Third way of sowing the farm, it is also when the farmer plows the farm, that time he can also spray द ग्रेन की जी शेती आहे शेतीमध्ये विविध प्रकारच्या प्रकारे पेरण्या केल्या जातात त्यामध्ये हात काही वेळेस शेतकरी काय करतो हाताने असे धान्य पसरवतो त्याला ती पण एक पेरणीच असते. दुसरी गोष्ट म्हणजे जेव्हा शेतकरी शेती नांगरत असतो त्या नांगराचे जे तास असतात नांगराचे ज्या रेघोटे असतात त्या रेघोट्यांमधून देखील पेरणी केली जाते. हा एक प्रकार आहे. किंवा जी टूल्स आहे पांबर फोर लेग्स दॅट टूल्स हॅज फोर लेग की त्या पांबरीनं देखील एक पेरणी केली जाते. म्हणजे अशा विविध प्रकारची पेरणी किंवा विविध प्रकारे शेतकरी आपल्या शेतीमध्ये पेरणी करत असतो. मार्चेस ही लॉंग द प्लेन टू अँड फ्रो येस व्हाईल सॉविंग द फार्मर ही मूव्स ही perform the different types of activities, different types of motions. Marches along the plain to and fro and scatters wide. Yes. He makes different types of movements in the farm, coming ahead, coming back, spreading the grain with the hands. From his hands, the precious grain, and the grain is spread through his hand. That is called a precious grain. Why the precious grain? Because that grain that he sows in the farm is valuable for the farmer. की शेतकरी त्याच्यासाठी जे पेरतो जे धान्य पेरतो ते काय असतं व्हॅल्युएबल प्रेशियस आहे. आणि मग ते धान्य पेरत असताना किंवा शेतीमध्ये पेरणी करत असताना शेतकरी काही वेळेस पुढे जात असतो काही वेळेस मागे येत असतो काही वेळेस इकडे बघ तिकडे बघ असं वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे जे ऍक्टिव्हिटीज आहेत त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज शेतकऱ्याला करावे लागतात. म्यूज एज आय येस म्यूज सी द वर्ड देअर इज म्यूज द मीनिंग इज रेस्ट इन द थॉट. सो द फार्मर when he saws the field when he performs the activity of sowing in the field, he is engaged in some thoughts. The farmer is engaged in some thoughts. की शेतकरी जेव्हा पेरणी करत असतो, ते पेरणी करत असताना तो काहीतरी विचारामध्ये गुंतलेला असतो. म्यूज, रेस्ट इन थॉट. As I see him stride, walk with long steps. When he spread the grains in the farm, he makes movement, he walks with long steps. तेव्हा शेतकरी जेव्हा पेरणी करतो त्यावेळेस तो आपल्या विचारामध्ये असतो, विचारामध्ये गुंतलेला असतो. सो देर आर व्हेरियस थॉट दॅट कम्स इन हिज माइंड. Maybe he is thinking now, soon I will sow the grain. Afterwards, the grain will be ready for me. The crop will be ready. It will be cut. I will get a good quality. I will get a good crops, grains, and thus his efforts will come to. So असे वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे विचार आहेत, विचार शेतकऱ्याच्या मनामध्ये येत असतात की लवकरच मी पेरणी करेल, त्याला पाणी देईल, निंदेल, कापेल, त्याची मळणी करेल आणि मला मोठ्या प्रमाणात काय धान्य उपलब्ध होईल. अशा म्हणजे मे बी देर आर सम अदर व्हेरियस थॉट दॅट कम्स इन. अशा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे विचार त्याच्या मनामध्ये येते. आणि मग दॅट्स वाय व्हेन ही सॉ द फील्ड, he makes the different type of movement coming to and fro. Yes, walking with long steps. पेरणी करत असताना मागे पुढे जात असतो. काही वेळेस त्याचं चालणं कसं असतं, लॉंग स्टेप्सचं असतं. आपण म्हणतो पटपट चालणे किंवा मग लॉंग स्टेप्स असं त्याचं चालणं असतं. सो इन दिस वी हॅव सीन दॅट देर इज अ फार्मर. दॅट फार्मर ही वर्क्स इन द फील्ड. The poetess, she sat in her veranda. She is looking. It is the evening time. She is looking. She is noticing. She is watching some pictures of the farmer. And that farmer is old enough. It is the evening time. Sun has come to set. Very soon there will be the darkness. Stars will be twinkling in the sky. And this farmer, he is still in his farm. The farmer, the sower, he lingers still in the farm. The farmer is old enough. He is in old and dusty or dirty clothes. Maybe he patiently stands. And so this image, this personality of the farmer, that the poet got surprised. It is the evening time. We can see the image of the farmer in the dark way. It is the image spread in the furrows, in the lines in the farm. Now the farmer is thinking something, or very soon the activity called sowing the field, sowing the farm, it will come to be, or it will begin. And afterwards the time will come to reap the grain. And so when he performs the activity of sowing the field, he marches to and fro. He scatters the wild. That is, he scatters the grain in the farm. And that when he scatters, he also performs various activities. This was the poem. The remaining part of the poem we will study in our next lecture. Today we will stop here. आज आपण इथे थांबूया. काही जो कवितेचा राहिलेला भाग आहे तो आपण उद्याच्या तासिकेमध्ये, उद्याच्या लेक्चरमध्ये अभ्यासूया. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. हॅव अ नाईस डे. थँक्यू.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
So shall I start?
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Okay. So good morning, students, teachers, parents, and all. Today we are again continuing with our fourth chapter, because in the previous lecture we have already started with our fourth lesson, that is constitutional government. Correct? So now we are going to continue with the same chapter, and it comes under second section, that is called as comparative government and politics, where the section compares our Indian political system with the political system in United States of America and United Kingdom. So we'll go through again the fourth chapter. We'll take a review whatever we have learned in the last chapter. Correct? Okay, so in the last chapter, we have, in the last lecture or previous lecture, we have already started with the fourth lesson, that is constitutional government. And we say constitutional government is nothing but the government which is based on the constitution. And constitution is nothing but a law, correct? A final law of the land. And government is the three organs like executive, legislature, and judiciary. So constitution contains set of rules, for whom set of rules or guidelines given to these three organs: legislature, executive, and judiciary. That means House of People and Council of States, President, Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, as well as Supreme Court and High Court. So the set of rules are there for these three organs of the government. Correct? Then the constitution contains set of rights to citizens. Correct? And the limited rights have been given. That means whenever citizens enjoy their rights, exercise their rights, they have to maintain certain limitations. So they should enjoy within the limitations given by the constitution. And even the constitution has given certain protection in case of violation of these fundamental rights. Correct? So the constitution contains the set of rules for the government, set of rights for the citizens, as well as duties, fundamental duties for the citizens, and the set of objectives and values. So the objectives and values are given in the preamble of the constitution, that is the introductory part, where our Indian constitution says there should be equality, justice, liberty given to all. India would be a democratic, sovereign nation. Correct? So these are the objectives that we have seen in the previous lecture. Then we have seen there are two types of constitution: written constitution, which is of Indian constitution and the US constitution, and the unwritten constitution, which is of United Kingdom, which has been not in written form. Correct? Then we again move towards the next point, that is called as constitutionalism, where we say constitutionalism is nothing but control of the constitution over the government. Because government, that means executive, legislature, and judiciary, are going to run the nation, going to administer the nation, going to govern the nation. So obviously there should be some limitation, or there should be some check on them, and therefore the constitution controls the government by certain provisions, and that is called as constitutionalism. Correct? And we have seen how the concept called constitutionalism has been evolved. So that has been started in United Kingdom with 1215 Magna Carta as a charter, where certain rights have been given to the people against the autocratic rule of a monarch. Correct? Then the same rights came into the form of Bill of Rights. After 100 years, again in America, same type of Bill of Rights have been came into existence, and those rights like right to freedom of speech, freedom to bear the arms, correct, for the self protection. Then certain political thinkers like Locke has given a social contract theory where he says agreement should be made between the government and the governed. That means the people, commoners, and the government, where people are have to give up certain rights to the government, and government has to protect the people. And suppose the government is not performing the duty, in that case, people can overthrow the government. Correct? So that kind of social contract theory has been given by the political thinker like Locke. So the constitutionalism again stresses on the powers to the people. Correct? And then in such case, government also tries to do certain changes in the constitution. That is called as amending the constitution. So in India, the whole constitution cannot be changed by our government. So certain provisions in the constitutions are amendable, but the basic structure of the constitution cannot be amended. Correct? So I have given you a question also where you have to find out whether such constitution can be amended in United Kingdom and US. Correct? So that means in UK or USA, you must have found out that constitutionalism works. That means government, the parliament has certain right over to change the constitution. Correct? And even the constitution controls the
हे कुठल्या
government in
कसं काय
both
चाललंय
ways.
ग?
नाही
Hello?
नाही
So up till now we have seen to constitutional amendment only. Correct?
Kind of.
Again there is one concept that is called as constitutional morality. Constitutional morality, that means there should be a coordination between the administration and the people, and the administration should try to resolve all the different interests of the different categories of people. So we have lot many categories in the society. So every category has certain
So,
interest, and those interests.
सायन्स लिंक लाव मला जॉईन कमी कसं करू शकतो? मी युट्यूबची लिंक बघू शकतो का त्यांची?
हा युट्यूब
मी बंद कर, मी काय ते झूम लावली बघ जरा. झूम काढ. झूम का लावलं तुम्ही?
So that means a coordination should be maintained between the different interests of the people, and those interests should be protected by the government. Correct? Now we have to move ahead. आता बघा, आता आपर्यंत आपण काय बघितलेलं? संविधानात्मक शासन हा धडा आपण पाहतोय. हा येतो दुसऱ्या विभागामध्ये, ज्याचं नाव आहे तुलनात्मक
Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
तुम्ही तुमची एक वेळा PPT शेअर करा.
Uh, Before that, can you host me? Yeah. Sorry. I would like to share my PPT.
Yes.
Is it sure, sir?
Just a minute. Yes, sir.
Is it sure, no, sir?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
एक minute. Okay, sir, you can start now. Please
Okay.
introduce yourself and then you can start.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Hello, friends. Good morning. Myself, Prashant Patil, and my colleague Madhuri Tita ma'am. We are both our physics teacher, teaching in Kirti M. Dungarsi College, Dadar, West Mumbai, which is run under Deccan Education Society. Actually, today I'm very happy. Even in such pandemic situation, COVID-19 situation, we try to teach, we try to learn by using such online setup. So I'm really thanks Maharashtra government and SART.
शासनामध्ये नागरिकांना अधिकार मिळतात आणि जेव्हा नागरिकांना अधिकार मिळतात याचाच अर्थ तिथे लोकशाही शासन व्यवस्था आहे. बघा, लोकशाही है ना, शब्दच सांगतो बघा, लोकांचं राज्य. करेक्ट. म्हणजे जिथे लोक आपल्या प्रतिनिधींना निवडून देतात आणि त्यानुसार राज्य चालवलं जातं, शासन चालवलं जातं. ठीक आहे. मग अशा लोकशाही शासन व्यवस्थेचे दोन प्रकार आहेत पूर्ण जगभरात: संसदीय लोकशाही शासन आणि अध्यक्षीय लोकशाही शासन. संसदीय लोकशाही शासन भारतामध्ये दिसेल, जर्मनी जपानमध्ये दिसेल, युनायटेड किंगडम मध्ये दिसेल, आणि अध्यक्षीय लोकशाही शासन तुम्हाला अमेरिकेत दिसेल, ब्राझील, साऊथ आफ्रिका म्हणजे दक्षिण आफ्रिकेत दिसेल. ठीक आहे. म्हणजे असे काही देश आहेत की ज्यांच्या काही देश अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धती राबवतात, काही देश संसदीय शासन पद्धती राबवतात. आता आपल्याला बघायचंय संसदीय शासन पद्धती म्हणजे नक्की काय, म्हणजे हा फरक कशावरून आला संसदीय आणि अध्यक्षीय. तर हा फरक निव्वळ कायदे मंडळ आणि कार्यकारी मंडळ यातील संबंधानुसार केला जातो. आता ते काय ते आपण आता बघूया. ठीक आहे. सो पार्लमेंटरी सिस्टम अँड द प्रेसिडेन्शियल सिस्टम, this division can be made, or you can classify the democratic system as parliamentary system and presidential system on the basis of the relationship between legislature and executive. Now legislature, that means the body which makes the law, and executive, the body or the person who executes the law. Correct. So the democratic government, or you say
Which concept is there, we try to learn. So my dears, there is first concept is scalar. What is scalar? A physical quantity which can be completely described by their magnitude. Magnitude, nothing but number and unit. That physical quantity is called at here scalar. We are thinking about at here only magnitude. We are not think about a direction. We are not think about a direction. We are think only about at here magnitude. हम यहाँ पे सिर्फ magnitude के बारे में सोचेंगे, ना तो हम यहाँ पे direction के बारे में सोचेंगे, ना तो any other quantity के बारे में हम सोचेंगे. We are think only at here about magnitude. हम यहाँ पे magnitude के बारे में सोचेंगे. Okay, ठीक है, go ahead. तो अगर मुझे मैग्नीट्यूड के बारे में सोचना है तो आई विल लाइक टू टेक सम एग्जांपल. Okay, if you take a metal rod and if you want to measure its length is a physical quantity. So whenever we want to show the length of metal rod, then we can tell that 2 meters. So 2 meters is sufficient information about length. Here 2 is a number, and meter is nothing but a standard unit. So if we see carefully that 2 meters is sufficient information to describe length physical quantity. So obviously that time length is a scalar quantity. Okay, only length is scalar quantity? No, there is many example. Just like mass, just like time, just like temperature. Look at here, we see one by one. Okay, mass, what about mass? Okay, अभी आपका 10th का रिजल्ट लगा होगा, बड़ा अच्छा रिजल्ट लगा है. चलो मान लो आपने मिठाई डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने के बारे में सोचा, चलो यार सबको मिठाई बांटते हैं. तो whenever you go in shop, मिठाई वाले शॉप पे गए और आपने कहा भाई हमें मिठाई चाहिए 2 किलोग्राम. So 2 kilogram is a sufficient information. There is no need their direction. वहां पे हमें डायरेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं होती है. क्या ऐसे बोलते हैं हमें डायरेक्शन वहां पे चाहिए 2 किलोग्राम मिठाई चाहिए, डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन या तो अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. अगर आपने ऐसा कहा तो शॉपकीपर आपको भगा देगा. Okay, so there is 2 kilogram. 2 kilogram is sufficient therefore information. Okay, so here mass is a physical quantity which we can show by magnitude, number and unit. In such manner, time, temperature, just like 35 degrees Celsius, 35 number degrees Celsius is unit. So 35 degrees Celsius, there is a number and unit which shows complete information about that temperature. So temperature is nothing but a scalar. Area, volume, density, distance traveled is nothing but a scalar quantity. Speed, चलो मान लो आपका अगर कोई फ्रेंड है वो बाइक चलाता है और उसका स्पीड है 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर. इट इज ओवर स्पीडिंग, इट इज रॉन्ग, नो डाउट. तो 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर, 90 is a number, kilometer per hour is a unit. So this is speed, which gives the complete information about that speed. Work, power, this such all quantities are nothing but a scalar which we can completely describe by its magnitude. Okay, if there is only magnitude, then we can easily add or subtract by using magnitude. अगर सिर्फ यहाँ पे magnitude है तो हम इस scalars को add या तो subtract कर सकते हैं by using rules of simple algebra. By using rules of simple algebra, no doubt. अगर मुझे ऐड करना है, अगर मैं दो सेम फिजिकल क्वांटिटी लेता हूं, if you take two same physical quantity, then you can easily add or subtract by using simple algebra. Okay, so this is about that scalar which we can explain or describe by magnitude. But there is some physical quantity which required more information. Means just like a vector, which is required also direction. Not only magnitude, there is also required direction. So there is some physical quantity which need magnitude, nothing but a number and unit, and as well as direction is required for its complete description. That's called at here vectors. Just an example, if you take example, we will take at here example displacement. Okay, displacement. There is a difference between distance and displacement. What I say? There is a difference between distance and displacement. How? Suppose if you're here and you want to travel toward east direction 2 kilometer. Okay, this is 2 kilometer. This is 2 kilometer. Once again, if you come backward at the same position, so that time there is a distance is a 4 kilometer. What I say? There is a distance is a 4 kilometer. Okay, if there is a distance is 4 kilometer, means we are think only their magnitude. We are not think their direction. But if you think about its direction also, so if you think about direction also, so that time the displacement is 0. The displacement is 0 kilometer. Why? Because in that displacement we are think only magnitude. We are not think at here direction also. So here we think only magnitude and as well as direction. We are not think at here about, we are not think about its only magnitude. हमने यहाँ पे magnitude के साथ साथ किसके बारे में स्टडी किया? Direction also. Okay, ठीक है. This is nothing but the vector where we think magnitude as well as direction. Okay, now then go ahead. Now then go ahead is there is nothing but the velocity. Okay, just हमने example देखा था speed का 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर. Okay, it's only magnitude. But अगर आप मुंबई से लेके पुणे जा रहे हो, so this is the direction. 90 kilometer per hour is magnitude and Mumbai to Pune is a direction. So that time there is nothing but the magnitude as well as direction. So that is a velocity. Okay, life में वेलोसिटी होनी चाहिए, स्पीड तो होना ही चाहिए नो डाउट, बट उसको एक प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन होना चाहिए. आपने 10th में बहुत स्टडी किया 90%, 12th में भी आपको 90%, 95% चाहिए, बट उसको एक प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन होनी चाहिए. विदाउट डायरेक्शन, ओके, आप समझ गए होंगे. सो वेलोसिटी, so there is nothing but the magnitude and as well as direction. So in such manner there is a linear momentum. Linear momentum is also vector quantity which we can explain by magnitude as well as direction. Acceleration, force, yeah, force is also important. Door agar mujhe open karna hai ya close karna hai, so it is necessary we are applying force in which direction, that is also most important. Impulse, pressure, this is all quantities are vector quantity which we can completely describe by using magnitude and as well as direction. Okay, so here vectors, if you think about magnitude and direction, so there is important factor is also direction. So this vector we cannot add or subtract by using simple rule of algebra. So vector we can be added or subtracted by using vector algebra, that is vector law of addition. We are used at a vector law of addition. Those quantity obey vector law of addition, that is also called vector, that is called vector. Okay, if you take example of electric current, चलो मान लो हम यहाँ पे example लेते हैं electric current के बारे में. Electric current having magnitude as well as direction. Suppose this is electric current I1. I1 is nothing but 2 ampere. Okay, look at here. Current, electric current. Suppose this is I1. I1 is nothing but 2 ampere. Come at this junction. Suppose this is one junction. And at the same junction, there is also another current is coming. This is nothing but the I2. I2 is nothing but the at here 2 ampere. Okay, I2 is also at here 2 ampere. Okay, and if suppose there is a I, this is the I which are leaving from this junction, so that time this I is nothing but the at here 4 ampere. This is the 4 ampere. If you see carefully, there is a magnitude is added. This is Kirchhoff law of junction, which we are learning in 12th standard, no doubt. So if you see carefully, here I1 is 2 ampere, look at their direction. I2 is 2 ampere, look at their direction. Both the direction is opposite. If both the direction is opposite, then obviously, अगर मैं वेक्टर्स के बारे में सोच रहा होता तो कैंसिल हो जाता. So that time I is equal to nothing but this 0 ampere. But nahi. What happened at here? Here 2 ampere and 2 ampere is nothing but the 4 ampere. Means there is only simple addition. Means electric current is not obey vector algebra or vector law of addition. यहाँ पे जो भी इलेक्ट्रिक करंट है वो इलेक्ट्रिक करंट वेक्टर अलजेब्रा या तो वेक्टर्स लॉ ऑफ एडिशन फॉलो नहीं करता है. अगर वो फॉलो नहीं करेगा तो सो इट इज नॉट अ वेक्टर. सो हियर current is not, electric current is not a vector, even its magnitude and direction. So what I want to say? I want to say here, those quantity having direction and magnitude, they are all are not vectors. If they obey, if they follow vector algebra, if they follow vector law of addition, then we can call to them vector. Okay, got it? What I'm saying? जो भी क्वांटिटी है उनको अगर मैग्नीट्यूड है एंड डायरेक्शन है पर वो वेक्टर नहीं होता है तो वेक्टर हम किसे कहेंगे? जिसको मैग्नीट्यूड है, डायरेक्शन है एंड अगर वो वेक्टर अलजेब्रा फॉलो करते हैं, if they are obey vector law of addition, then we can tell to them vector. Got it? Okay. So here we study about scalar and then we are studying at here about vector. So we try to distinguish between scalar and vector. What is the difference between scalar and vector? We take at here one by one. So we think about scalar and then vector. Okay, scalar. In scalar, we take only magnitude, number and unit. But in vector, we take magnitude as well as direction. Means if you take any physical quantity, we can completely describe by using magnitude, number and unit. And as well as there is a requirement of direction. So this is the vector. Okay, then scalar. Scalar can be add or subtract according to the simple rule of algebra. जैसे plus होता है, जैसे minus होता है. Why? Because there is only magnitude and hence we can simple add or subtract. If two physical quantity are same, then. Okay, but agar suppose if we take vectors, then these vectors we cannot add or subtract by using simple rule of algebra. So for that, so here we use vector algebra. So vectors are added or subtracted by using vector algebra, that is vector law of addition or subtraction. If they follow, if they obey vector law of addition or subtraction, then we can tell there is a vectors. Okay, so scalar, it has no specific representation. Why? Because it's only magnitude. But vector, we can represent it by symbol, arrow. There is an arrow. Arrow shows their direction. So vectors contain magnitude as well as direction. Now here's scalars example: distance, speed, mass, time, volume, etc. And there is examples of vectors is that displacement, velocity, acceleration, force. Okay, look at here. Distance, there is only magnitude. Displacement, there are magnitude as well as direction. Speed, there is contain only magnitude. Velocity, magnitude as well as direction. So this is the major difference between scalar and vector. Scalar, magnitude only. Vector, magnitude as well as direction. Scalar can be added or subtracted by simple rule of algebra. Vectors are added or subtracted by vector algebra. That is vector law of addition or subtraction. Scalar, it has no specific representation. Vector, it is represented by symbols just like an arrow. And there are examples which we learn at here already. Okay, so vectors required magnitude as well as direction. If the vectors required magnitude as well as direction, then how we can represent to vector? How we can show vector? So here we want a graphical representation of vector. We can show this vector by using this graphical representation. How? Look at here. A vector can be represented by a directed line segment or by an arrow. Okay, look at here. I'm sure at here one vector. This is directed line segment. This is line. Okay, the length of this line is nothing but a magnitude, and this above arrow shows its direction. Whatever its length, which we draw it here on scale, this is nothing but the magnitude. यहाँ पे जो भी उसकी length है, वो length हमें क्या बताएगा? उसकी magnitude. This is nothing but the magnitude. Here, this is magnitude. This length is nothing but the shows magnitude, and this arrow shows a direction. So whenever we want to show at a vector, so there is nothing but the magnitude and direction is required. So directed line segment, जो भी directed line segment होगी, और by an arrow, जिसे हम आगे arrow देने वाले हैं, उसे हम कहेंगे vector. The length of line segment drawn to scale gives its magnitude, and arrow shows its direction. Okay, if you take example at here about displacement. Okay, if you take example displacement of a body which move from P to Q. So you can represent in such manner. Move from P to Q. So here P is nothing but the starting point. Here P is nothing but the starting point, which is nothing but the tail.
Where we say the head of the state and head of the government is only one person in presidential system. And the head of the state is known as the president. And therefore it is called as presidential system. Because here president enjoys more powers. Correct? And even in parliamentary system, the legislature can remove the president. Even in presidential system, the legislature can remove the executive. But executive, who is the president, has more powers. So what are the powers? President can approve the law. Law is passed by the lawmaking body only. That is legislature. That is Congress. Is called as Congress in America. It has again having two houses. House of Representatives and Senate. Okay, bicameral. Two houses. House of Representative and Senate. So these are the legislative bodies. And these legislative bodies makes the law. Correct, because those are the law-making bodies. But those laws should be approved by the president. On the screen, you must be seeing Donald Trump is there, who is the current president of America. But the elections are already over. And now we have a new president of America in January. Because president term is of 4 years. Okay. And it has been ending or finishing on 28th January 2021. So from January onwards, 2021, we will have a new president of America, Biden. Okay, so this president approves the law made by the legislature, as well as he can reject the law made by the legislature. And also he can request the legislature to pass certain law for according to the condition in the or situation in the nation. So the president enjoys more power. And this president, this executive, is not supposed to, or his cabinet, his ministers called as secretaries. Okay, he appoints the secretaries. Like we have Council of Ministers. In Britain, we have cabinet, same way. In US, we have secretaries. And these secretaries appointed by the president. But these secretaries and the president are not supposed to be the members of the legislature. This is the difference. In parliamentary system, we say executives are the members of legislature. And in presidential system, we say executives are not the members of legislature. Correct? So, even though they do not enjoy majority in legislature, they can remain with their powers. But it is not the case with parliamentary system. In parliamentary system, suppose the executive lose the majority, they have to resign. Getting my point? सो अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धतीमध्ये काय असतं की जे कार्यकारी मंडळ आहे तो एकच व्यक्ती आहे, त्याला अध्यक्ष म्हटलं जातं, जो देशाचा पण प्रमुख असतो आणि जो शासनाचा पण प्रमुख असतो. ठीक आहे. आणि दुसऱ्या बाजूला कायदे मंडळी आहे, म्हणजे त्याला हाऊस ऑफ रिप्रेझेंटेटिव्ह आणि सिनेट असं म्हटलं जातं अमेरिकेत, काँग्रेस. ठीक आहे. आपल्याकडे जसं पार्लमेंट म्हणतात तसं तिकडे काँग्रेस म्हणतात. आणि हे दोन्ही कायदे मंडळ म्हणजे कायदे मंडळाचे विभाग कायदा बनवतात, पण त्या कायद्याला परवानगी किंवा ते अप्रूव्ह कोण करतं? अध्यक्ष. तो कायदा नाकारू पण शकतात अध्यक्ष, किंवा देशाच्या परिस्थितीनुसार नवीन कायदा बनवण्याचं रिक्वेस्टही करू शकतात अध्यक्ष कायदे मंडळाला. म्हणजे जास्तीत जास्त अधिकार अध्यक्षाकडे असतात आणि म्हणून तिकडे अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धती आहे. गेटिंग द पॉइंट. अँड हिअर म्हणजे आपल्याला इथे बघायचंय की मुख्य नक्की काय आपल्याला फरक दिसतोय, की हे अध्यक्ष आहेत जे दिसतात ना स्क्रीनवर, डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प हे आत्ताचे अध्यक्ष आहेत. पुढच्या महिन्यामध्ये बायडेन नावाचे नवीन अध्यक्ष अमेरिकेमध्ये येतील, कारण निवडणुका झालेल्या आहेत आणि ह्यांची टर्म 4 वर्षाची असते, ती संपणार आहे जानेवारीमध्ये. ती संपली की नवीन अध्यक्ष येतील आणि मग त्यानुसार पुन्हा राज्यकारभार चालू होईल. मुख्य मुद्दा काय आहे की हे जे कार्यकारी प्रमुख आहेत म्हणजे अध्यक्ष आहेत ते आपल्या सेक्रेटरीला निवडू शकतात. जसे आपल्याकडे पंतप्रधान आणि यांना जनता निवडते मंत्रिमंडळाला, पण पंतप्रधान त्यांना म्हणजे सिलेक्ट करतात, मंत्र्यांना मंत्रीपद देतात आणि फॉर्मल म्हणजे औपचारिकरित्या नेमणूक राष्ट्रपती करतात. अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धतीमध्ये गरज नाहीये की ते कायदे मंडळातले सभासद असतात. अध्यक्ष आणि सेक्रेटरी कायदे मंडळाचे सभासद नसतात. त्याच्यामुळे जरी त्यांनी कायदे मंडळामध्ये बहुमत नसेल तरी त्यांचं पद जात नाही. कळतंय? पण तेच अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धतीमध्ये आपण काय बघतो, समजा त्या म्हणजे जे शासनाचे प्रमुख आहेत पंतप्रधान आणि मंत्रिमंडळ यांना कायदे मंडळामध्ये बहुमत लागतं आणि जर ते बहुमत नाही त्यांनी सिद्ध केलं तर त्यांचं पद जाऊ शकतं, म्हणजे त्यांना राजीनामा द्यावा लागतो. कळतंय? म्हणजे कायदे मंडळाचं किती महत्व आहे संसदीय शासन पद्धतीमध्ये, तेच इथे अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धतीमध्ये नाही आणि म्हणून त्याला अध्यक्षीय शासन पद्धती असे म्हणतात. कळतंय? नाव वी हॅव टू गो टुवर्ड्स फेडरलिझम. Federalism, that means the powers are distributed between the two governments. When the nation is large in population, in territory, the nation cannot be administered by one single government. And therefore, there are two governments, national government and the state government. On the screen, you must be seeing national government. It is the government of India. Okay, administering the whole nation, whereas we have 28 state governments in India. Each state has its own government, same structure, legislature, executive, judiciary. Okay, but they are operating at the state level, regional level, and national government operating at the national level, union level, central level. So when there are two governments, central government and the state government, that is called as federation. But suppose the country is small, it would be having unitary system. Unitary system, that means only single government. Okay, and federal system, that means two governments. So India having two governments, Maharashtra government, Karnataka government, okay, and Indian government, government of India. So we have two governments, we have federation. United Kingdom having single government, therefore it is unitary system. Getting the point? Now, we have to look at the history of federation. History of federation, that means certain parts. We have given three types of federation coming together. Coming together, that means small states come together and they establish their central unit, central administrative unit to fight against the common enemies. That is called as coming together federation. That is in Switzerland. It means Switzerland has one central government and 26 cantons. Like we have states, they have cantons. Okay, holding together federation. Holding together, that is in United Kingdom. That means initially United Kingdom has only one single government, and then it had to distribute certain rights to its regions, to its constituent countries. Those are Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And quasi-federation, that is in India. Because in India, even though we have central government and the state government, more powers are given to the central government. And these power distribution of powers is written in the Constitution. If you look at the 7th schedule in the Constitution of India, you will find there are list of subjects distributed to union government, central government, national government, government of India, and certain subjects given to state governments. I'll give you one example only. Railway. This power is given to the central government. Whereas police, this department is given to the state government. And there are lot many other subjects too. Certain 97 subjects are there in the union government. So in India, we have more powers to the central government, and therefore we have quasi-federation. Correct? So here we have finished our 4th chapter. Okay? So up till now we have seen there are two types of government, democratic government, of two types of democratic government, parliamentary and presidential, where parliamentary, head of the state and head of the government, different people. In presidential, head of the state, head of the government is only one person, and they do not belong to legislature. Whereas in parliamentary system, executive belong to legislature. In federalism, we have seen there are two types of government for the administrative convenience, correct? Central government and the state government, as we see in India. But we have different type of federation. We have quasi-federation because more powers are, same powers, equal powers are not there for the center and state. More powers are to the center, therefore we have quasi-federation. Correct? So here we have finished our 4th chapter. Thank you very much. हा, मराठीमध्ये सांगायचं झालं तर संघराज्य म्हणजे काय? तर जिथे दोन प्रकारचं शासन आहे, केंद्र शासन आणि राज्य शासन. ते केवळ जेव्हा देश मोठा असतो तेव्हा केवळ म्हणजे आपण म्हणतो ना ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव्ह कन्व्हिनियन्ससाठी, सोयीसाठी केलेलं असतं. ठीक आहे. मग युनायटेड किंगडम मध्ये मात्र असं नाहीये. युनायटेड किंगडम मध्ये फक्त एकच शासन आहे, एकात्मक व्यवस्था आहे. त्यांच्याकडे दोन नाहीये, म्हणजे संघराज्य नाहीये, संघ आणि राज्य असं नाहीये. ठीक आहे. मग अशा संघराज्याच्या काही प्रकार आहेत. म्हणजे स्वित्झर्लंडमध्ये तुम्हाला 26 कॅन्टन्स ते एकत्र आले, राज्य एकत्र आले आणि त्यांनी एक सिंगल युनिट बनवलं, सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंट. युनायटेड किंगडम मध्ये एकच आहे आणि त्यांनी आपले काही अधिकार बाकीच्या राज्यांना दिले. आणि आपल्याकडे मात्र केंद्र शासन राज्य शासन आहे, पण केंद्र शासनाला सर्वात जास्त अधिकार दिलेले आहेत, म्हणून आपल्याकडे अर्धसंघ राज्य आहे. लक्षात येतंय? सो आपण आता हा धडा पूर्ण केलेला आहे. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
थँक्यू मॅम.
Okay. Shall I leave?
मॅम.
Okay.